Hello, and welcome back to The Coco Show, hosted by myself, Colette Creighton, and my co-host, David Schwartz. This is a show where the banter at the top of the episode never ends, and neurodivergent or not, we are here to make you feel less alone about your human experience. We have no expectations, and neither should you.
You are listening to a compulsive episode of
The Coco Show. As y'all know, this podcast explores the diverse and fascinating world of neurodivergent experiences. And today we are delving into the realm of sensory experiences, specifically sensory seeking and sensory overload. We will also break down sensory processing disorder, activities for sensory seekers, some helpful coping strategies for our overstimulated friends, and even share some of our own hot takes on the matter. Understanding this connection can provide valuable insights into how sensory experience influence the brain and neurodivergent individuals in ways that differ from their neurotypical counterparts. But before we get into the weeds, you know what it's time for. Ye fucking ha's and hyperfixations of the week, baby.
We should just say that we pretty much always give in to the weeds.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
The weeds consume.
I've been giving into it less, though.
Yes.
That should be my ye fucking ha.
Go
I guess
for
I'll
it.
start off today.
Yeah, let's go.
My mom doesn't listen to this, right? Adam, if you're listening,
Don't tell mom.
I have never vaped in my life.
No.
Okay. But I have cut out my little pen, Jamin. The weed Benjamin.
No more Blinkerton City for this guy.
Yeah, no, I have been doing that. It's mid. It's like, it's not like I feel like I thought I was gonna be like, I'm gonna have more energy, I'm gonna be more focused, I'm gonna have better mood regulation. I feel like I have none of those things, so bit frustrated. But I've been sick, and I'm blaming most of it on that. And I feel like I'm not getting to enjoy the benefits of my newfound cardiovascular capacity because I was sick, and I went to play hockey yesterday, and my conditioning is evaporated, and it's like I never worked out in my life. And so that is very upsetting, and yeah, my hyperfixation is, I got nothing, but
Not making a set?
Oh, yes. Well, my you fucking ha was also going to be Q on Friday. So yeah, we'll give my hyperfixation to some nice like progression in my set prep, trying to figure out how to, it's like you're playing for the first 30 minutes like for maybe 5 people, so you keep that in mind.
I'm one of them,
and that's true. And then after that I kind of got to ramp it up a little bit as I do the pass off. But yeah, it should be really fun. I'm very excited. I've always wanted to play at Q, and thank you, Kaylin, for the opportunity. And I'm very excited to be reunited with our dear bees behind the booth. And I think probably Jade will also be working. So very exciting. It'll be very fun. And it'll be great.
Boys are back in town.
Yes.
It's exciting. My fucking ha is that I too am super proud of myself for basically just sticking to a schedule the past couple weeks. I've been meal prepping more because I eat dinner way too late, and because of that I've started meal prepping 2 meals a day, and then I eat dinner at work too. So that way I don't come home at like 9 o'clock and I'm starving, and then I have to figure out to make a meal and blah blah blah, and then I have to think about the next day. Dan's been really great for a while now about
Has he got grocery shopping yet?
No. But
it'll never happen.
It'll never happen.
Austin also does not grocery shop.
It's not for them. It's okay.
No, it needs to be for them, Colette.
I've accepted it. I've let the behavior happen for far too long to change it now. The trick is to not let them get comfortable, because then they stop helping you do things. They're like, oh, but you do it better, or you do the grocery shopping better, or you're better at it. Don't,
Austin, I know you're listening to this when you edit this podcast.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me, Dan.
Just make 1 meal a week, something like that.
Dan does cook for me. Dan does cook for me.
Must be nice.
It is really nice. I will give you that, Dan. You cook for me, and I thank you. Thank you for the pasta. You're the best. But I'm getting bored, so I'm trying to make other things. I've been mixing it up. I've been marinating chicken. Ooh. I'm having a good time.
I've been reusing rotisserie chicken in creative ways.
A chickie rotis.
We love a chickie rotis.
She is such an integral part of a healthy meal, and
absolute facts.
Great for the gal on the go, especially because it comes in its own purse.
You gotta, if you want to keep it warm on the way home, what do, Colette?
You turn on your heated seater.
That is true.
Seated heater.
Yes. And I made enchiladas last night with my rotisserie, and I made I mean, you can just like throw it in your ramen, and you can do all sorts of fun things with a rotisserie chickie.
And it's a purse. Again. It's just I secured the bag.
Secured the bag. Actually, I've been quite known to just go to town on a rotisserie with a fork.
Yeah, or I'll just stand over
the way God
the sink
intended.
With my hands like a cave
woman.
Oh,
absolutely. Just tear off a leg.
Yeah.
Go to town.
Yeah. And my hyperfixation of the week has been super bouncy music. I actually made a playlist yesterday, if you want to check it out on Spotify, called Bounce Thy Booty.
Ooh, booties be bouncing.
And if you want to check out some examples of, as I mentioned on the previous episode, Curated by Coco, that is also up on Spotify. Every week I'm adding a couple songs, so keep checking back in.
Nice.
But y'all know the deal. To move energy, you gotta move your body.
You gotta move your body.
So get them wiggles out, and we'll see you in a second.
BRB.
All right. Firstly, let's understand the basics a little bit. So as neurodivergent individuals, including those categorized in autism, ADHD, sensory processing disorder spectrum, may engage in some sensory seeking behaviors for various reasons. But I want to also tell you what sensory processing disorder actually means. And it's a condition that affects how the nervous system processes sensory information in general. So that's what leads to either the hypersensitivity, which is overreacting to stimuli, or hyposensitivity, underreacting to stimuli, which impacts daily activities like getting dressed, enjoying a meal. It's things from the lights are too bright in the room. I don't like the way chicken feels in my mouth. There's too many sounds going on at once. My shirt is too tight and someone's talking to me, and then the blow dryers are all going at the same time. So it's
cannot wear beanies. Just so itchy, make me want to die.
Yes, I often just I call them sensory nightmares.
Yeah, like that shirt you bought me for your Euphoria party.
I'm so sorry, I didn't try it on first.
It hurt. It was pins and needles. It was horrifying.
It was not great.
No,
it was not a great material. Seams are horrible for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Tags. Sometimes fragrance, and this is popular. That my research is vast, but we'll get into the weeds in a sec. But fragrance sometimes for me, because it'll bother my brain because it the smell is too pungent, then I get a headache. But sometimes I also have such sensitive skin that if it gets on me, I'll start itching. It's really frustrating, but per my research, Reddit, I learned that I'm very much not alone in this. Neither are you.
True.
And other neurodivergent individuals exhibit enhanced sensory perception. And that heightened sensitivity means the brain picks up on it and processes that sensory information in a way much more intensely than our neurodivergent or neurotypical counterparts. So the bright lights in Walmart, for example, may not bother my husband, but they make me want to die. You know, you walk into a space and you're just like, you know.
I do know. For me, it's like metal scraping against metal makes me physically ill.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm constantly shaking my leg. I think that's related to,
It's a stim, yeah. It's you're giving yourself a sensory experience.
Yeah, like right now I'm also like pinching my elbow for those at home. I'm just kind of like
A little weenus pinch.
well, I need to feel something.
Yeah. Yeah, we are generally categorized as sensory seekers.
Yes. But aren't we like under dopamine fed?
We're understimulated. That's why we are sensory seekers. But then I'll get into it. Anyway, in that same spectrum, there's other people who experience a lot of sensory avoidance, which is because they're already at a higher level than, like, David and I live down here. They stay up here, so then when a couple more things are added to their cup, it spilleth over, if you will.
Here's my question, though. Is there anyone out there that's just like sitting normally and calmly and like just can easily like...
Yeah. Yes.
I don't believe that.
I don't either, but that's only because we surround ourselves with like-minded individuals.
You're telling me that in a board meeting, someone is just sitting there listening to what someone is saying without some part of their body like tapping,
yes,
or pinching.
Yes.
Who are these people?
We don't know them because that's not the world we live in.
I've never met one.
No?
Everybody got restless leg.
Okay.
No, it's just me.
Tap in, everybody. If you are a person who can sit...
I gotta click a pen.
If you can sit like this in a board meeting, which I've never even been in one, and I never will.
I have.
Maybe I have. I don't know.
But people doodle. People do.
Not everybody, baby. Not everybody.
I've never met these people.
All right. So now I'm going to dive into the importance of sensory play for neurodivergent brain stimulation. It serves as a powerful tool for stimulating and regulating the brain in general. Engaging in activities that involve sensory modalities such as touch, sight, sound, movement can help neurodivergent individuals achieve an optimal level of arousal and sensory regulation. So I know you're making that eye, but it's not arousal like that. It's like, oh, I am stimulated enough that I can get up and go do my tasks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like living in a constant state of I have so much energy, but I'm so tired at the same time.
Exactly. So you have to find the correct stimuli, like putting on the perfect playlist, so then your brain is stimulated enough that you can get up and go do the thing. Mm-hmm. Ja feel?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, sensory play actively contributes to the development and refinement of neural connections in the brain. Participating in activities that involve sensory exploration help to build and strengthen neural pathways. This, in turn, can enhance cognitive functions and adaptive behaviors. So that's cool, too.
Such as?
Like, the more, like, for example, somebody squeezing a thingy while they're studying for something because they're stimulating, or like bouncing your leg because you're stimulating yourself in a way that you're getting enough like signals to your brain, you're going to do a better job studying. Or chewing gum.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get stats, but you have to believe me. I'm a podcaster on the internet. I have a mic. That means I know things. Just kidding. Don't just listen to people with microphones. We know that, though. Anyway, As I was saying before, that also just like helps to promote focus and attention. You're chewing gum, you're stimming, you're doing something.
I mean, they do studies that say that like chewing gum helps everyone do better on tests and whatnot. Right? Isn't that science?
I think so. And it's just a helpful way to serve as an expressive outlet and regulate emotions in a nonverbal way, you know, such as making art, playing with textured materials, engaging in movement-based play, dancing. And then it just allows people to find comfort in their sensory-seeking behaviors. So it makes them feel like they're part of a community. They as in us. Why a neurodivergent person might be sensory seeking is generally it's a self-regulation strategy, meaning that they're using the sensory experience to modulate those arousal levels, as we were talking about before, and have like a more balanced emotional state, because you know when you're super understimulated and then you become overstimulated, you know, like then you're having an issue regulating you, so you need to bring yourself up here before you can go here, or else you're gonna freak out. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you
mean.
No,
like microdosing experiences.
Okay.
Like say you hate going out to social events. So you start by going like once a week to the grocery store at 6:00 because you know that's when the most people are there. So you're in a loud space in a crowded area, and there is music and there's people everywhere, and you have to hear the squeaks of the carts. So that way, when you go into a party with your partner and all of these different sensory experiences are happening, you don't explode. Does that make sense? Or should we just cut
But
this?
do people do that?
Yeah. If they're working with their therapists.
Oh.
I get homework.
Got it. You know what sensory thing is absolutely driving me bonkers right now?
What?
Oh,
yeah. Actually, I was reading in one of these Reddit threads. The whole thread was about sound canceling headphones and the icks that they give them.
Well, it's the sound of
the rustling. Some people don't like the wind whoosh.
Can you guys hear that? It's horrid. I've never noticed it until right now.
The creaky?
Yeah.
It does feel quieter in here than it normally does.
What is happening?
I don't know. But yeah, I think
it's because we're talking about like stimulating or like sensory things. So now my ears are like
tuned in.
Yeah.
Dialed in.
Well, the thing I notice for myself is like I just like, how to explain this? I can't even like I'll just all of a sudden be like, oh, I haven't breathed in a while.
I was talking to Barb about that yesterday, that I constantly forget how to breathe, and then that fucks with your vasovagal response, because your body thinks you're in a constant fight or flight, because every time you forget to breathe, your body thinks you're in panic mode, so then you're fucking up your cortisol levels all subconsciously because you're simply forgetting how to breathe. It's like this fucked up cycle.
Shame.
Shame indeed. But when a neurodivergent person feels understimulated, they often seek out experiences, obviously, like, how do I stim? And so,
all I can think right now is I want to hit a fucking pen, and that's the reason that all my things are ailing me right now.
Well, you can, but is that
but
what
isn't that what I'm doing? Isn't that just a stim in a way?
It is. It's an oral fixation.
It's an oral fixation, but it's also, I think it's doing that thing where you're like, I need to get my brain up here so that I can not be over understimulated or whatever. It just like kind of gives you that baseline dopamine levels.
Exactly.
So that you can then not think about other things. I don't know.
That's why I like being a little stoned.
Yeah, I know.
I like it. I like it too.
I really haven't noticed too many benefits other than like enjoying like social interaction a bit more, like being more keyed into like networking events and stuff
So
like
like
that.
don't do it then.
Yeah, real.
But okay, so positive healthy things you can do to experience some sensory play. Tactile stimulation, like playing with a stress ball, kinetic sand, like a weird textured fabric moment. Just hold on to something, squeeze something. Movement, yeah. Squeeze your best friend's arm, yeah.
Oh my god.
She's been
Jeez,
working
what
out.
can you curl, dude?
Not that much, surprisingly.
Really?
Only like 45 pounds.
Those are some tight buys, bruh.
Thanks. Movement and physical play. I think moving your fucking body is such an important part of, I think, for everybody's human experience, but specifically for neurodivergent people. Like, you have to take yourself on a walk. We're very we are complicated individuals, but at the end of the day, we need movement, we need sun, we need water, we need love. You know what I mean?
If you want your neurospicy person to grow, you must water, walk, and provide sun.
Mm-hmm. And love
your
them.
Neurospicy seed.
Photosynthesize your baby girl, baby boy, baby gay, baby they.
Baby gay they.
Baby gay, baby they. Any of them. Water them, love them, feed them, tell them they're pretty. That's an added bonus.
Maybe also showering has like something to do with that. I feel like that sensory, like I probably feel kind of crummy right now because I don't think I've showered yet. And I'm like, if I did, my entire soul would feel different.
Yes.
What is that about?
I was reading that it's a sensory experience. The water, some people were saying that showering gave them like the ick and they hated it, so they had to take baths. Other people were saying their stim was bath time. Like they would take 3-4 baths a day when they were super hyper fixated on the bath. Some people very much enjoy like the heat and the steam and find it very relaxing. Other people can't stand the way it feels like when like all their little cracks and crevices are wet, or they can't stand the way they feel the second they get out of the shower, so they avoid the shower.
The other thing I've noticed about like taking the Benjamin out of my life is that I also have less, like, I'll hit that thing and then I'll be like, whoop, up and at 'em. Like, it gets me up, and I've kind of just been on this, like, I'm so tired, I'm not feeling, and it's hard to tell, like, what's me kind of being sick and, like, also cutting this substance out of my life and how that affects my, brain chemistry and whatnot. But, like, yeah.
So do you want to hit the pen?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was like, is this a test?
No.
Are you testing me?
I'm not, like, craving it. I'm just really frustrated that I don't feel great. It's very annoying.
That's fair. I'm going to get you some Mullion tincture. That'll help.
I don't want to be tired all the time.
That's
It's so
fair.
annoying.
Another healthy activity you can do to stimulate yourself is using aromatherapy. It can be a soothing and stimulating sensory experience,
That does sound nice.
involving essential oils, scented candles, diffusers, to introduce either like calming or invigorating fragrances that can positively influence mood and energy. Be careful though, it's easy to get overstimulated with too much fragrance. Visual stimulation, engaging through like colorful activities, either watching visually appealing content like nature documentaries, art videos, vibrant animations,
Violent video games.
Sure,
Just kidding.
I mean, going to a little laser show.
Dude, I can't even watch, or I can't even play my video game anymore because it makes me sick.
Yeah, what do you mean? You were saying the other day that it made you nauseous.
So, yeah, this is a real thing. It's called cyber sickness. And for some folks, who was I talking to about this? But I think it's possible that my traumatic brain injury might have something to do with this. Because it was saying that folks who have that are more likely to experience it. Because I never used to get sick playing video games as a kid, but now if I'm playing Call of Duty for like more than 20 minutes, I literally will be nauseous for like like an hour or two. And it's because your brain is perceiving movement and it thinks you're moving, but the liquid in your ear is not moving. So it's the dissonance of that, the disconnect that causes the nausea. Because your brain's like, I'm moving so fast, I'm doing so many things so fast, and then your balance fluid in your ear is like, we are literally staying still.
Does that mean you can't?
And that's what causes the nausea.
Can't do like VR or anything then?
I mean, VR would definitely make me pretty nauseous too. But yeah, so I was bringing that up for like overstimulation purposes, because yeah, that if I get overstimulated, I guess I get nauseous now. So that's frustrating. But no, this is a thing called cyber sickness. And it is the confusion of the liquid in your ears mixed with your brain being like, we're moving so fast. We're cruising.
Motoring. Speaking of singing, listening to music isn't...
You said that like you're just fucking Casanova over
here. It was
here.
A joke.
La 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 la.
We all know who's the bigger songbird in this relationship, and it's this guy. He obviously has a better voice.
You actually have a nice voice.
Thank you. The world will never know.
We've had this conversation.
It's just for you. But music is a very powerful sensory modality. Listening to your favorite songs, exploring new genres can offer auditory stimulation and contribute to a more dynamic sensory environment. And consider using
What?
I don't know. Consider using headphones for a more immersive sensory experience.
Got it.
Because oh my God, there is nothing better to me than a song that like does the thing where it goes.
The pan effect. Yeah. That is a neurospicy like love language, I think.
It is. It's been proven. I don't remember what it's called. There's a specific word for it, but fuck me up. The way that shit tickles my brain. Anyway.
I can relate on the like needing that change in genre. Like I feel like I just go through phases of like I need to listen to a certain type of music and only that type of music.
Yeah.
And then like when I have to go back to maybe some sort of performance type of music and I'm like, oh, like this is not what my hyperfixation is on right now. It's like very understimulating and very frustrating.
Yeah, that's gotta suck.
Fuck this, it all sounds the same. Like who's so stupid? Why there's no one's creating anything new, and all these things are true. But there are then I find like that one song that I'm like tickles the brain, and then I can't find anything else, and I'm like,
yeah. Like I said, like I'm really into like bouncy house that has a lot of kind of like hip hop influence right now. You'll have to check out the playlist.
Okay, I'll check out the playlist.
But yeah, that's what I've been into. But I don't know, 3 fucking days ago, I was into shit that it just needed to go back and forth in my headphones.
We love a pan effect. It's great.
Which is also bouncy, but like different. I don't know. You know what I like. Other people enjoy interactive games and puzzles, balancing activities, which I thought was interesting. Like apparently it's a sensory experience to like do yoga or like play on a balance board.
That does sound fun. I've been thinking about getting a balance board.
And this type of sensory stimulation contributes to spatial awareness and can be energizing for someone who feels understimulated. So maybe you should get a balance board. And then social interaction, which I didn't really think about being a sensory experience, but that makes sense because I'll be driving home and I'll be like, music isn't doing it for me right now. I want to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling chatty. Let me call someone.
Yeah.
Because engaging in a conversation sometimes ends, hopefully, God willing, if you have the right friends, ends in laughter. And can also be emotionally stimulating, which contributes to a more enriched sensory experience.
Did you just get from Lowe's or something?
Yeah, got some new mulch for my yard.
No, I was saying enrich.
In wrench? Oh, got it. I immediately thought garden section. We do different things at Lowe's, I guess.
I don't Lowe's.
You don't Lowe's?
I hate Lowe's. I hate all hardware stores. They're huge. I get lost. I'm overstimulated.
Interesting.
Yes. I hate hardware stores.
What about them is overstimulating to you?
I'm sorry. I'm supposed to find one screw in a wall of infinity screws? Fuck you. Just give me the screw I want. I have to ask for help.
And you don't like that?
No, because it's annoying. And that person does not want to help me.
Oh, I'm sure it's a very different experience being a Twinkie gay man in a Lowe's.
Maybe. I friggin' hate those stores. They're so big. It's like, oh, you're like, I'm looking for paint supplies, or painter's tape or something. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the paint section, and then I'll look in the paint section. There'll be no painter's tape there, and I'll be like, where the hell is the painter's tape? They're like, oh, it's over in the outdoor painting section. I'm like, why is that on the other side of the store? And then I'll get over there, and I don't know. I hate Lowe's.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Hardware stores.
Lowe's cannot sponsor this show.
No.
0%
Hardware stores
chance.
make me want a hot dog.
That's Costco, babe.
No, because
Yes.
no, because when I was a little kid, my mother loves a home improvement project, and she would make me go to Home Depot more so than Lowe's with her all the fucking time, like back on the East Coast when I was a little kid. And the way she would coerce me into going is we would get a hot dog first, because there was always some random ass hot dog stand
Fucking
outside
Home Depot
of Homo.
Homo Depot.
That sounds like a much better store.
Yeah, I agree. It's just thongs everywhere.
Fuck yeah. Lots of
Jock straps.
jock straps, harnesses. Anyway, Grace would always get me a hot dog. So now literally if I smell lumber, I need a hot dog. And I'm so serious.
I think the lumber smells the one thing I do like about a hardware store.
I love the smell of wood. I really do.
So let's get this straight. Coco smells wood, needs sausage in her mouth. That's what I'm connecting here. If that's not an oral fixation, I don't know what is.
Well, this is your fault, Grace. You raised a slut. What are you going to do? Anyway, moving on to our next section. Why am I overstimulated?
I tried to make that segue like 3 minutes ago, but we got lost.
Shocking. You know what? I need to tell you the hot dog story. It's fine. Neurodivergent individuals often have a heightened sensory sensitivities, making them more susceptible to feeling overwhelmed by sensory stimuli in general, and sensory avoidant behaviors may be a protective response to prevent overstimulation, which can lead to stress, anxiety, or meltdown. So basically just hiding away or wearing headphones so nobody talks to you.
Yeah. Like, I love having, if I gotta go to Home Depot, I'm putting the AirPods in and I'm just gonna suffer in silence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hot tip though, circling back to that, if you download the app, you can type in what you want and it will tell you what aisle it's in and shit.
Whoa.
It's based off the store closest to you.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Yeah.
I'll have to give that a try. But I always send Austin to Home Depot, so.
See? Okay. Well, he won't go to the grocery store, but he'll go to Home Depot.
Loves a little Home Depot. You're right. You know, we all have our strengths.
We all have our things.
But you only have to go to the Home Depot like once a month. You got to go to the grocery store like every day. So
every day.
Yeah.
We shop differently.
Yeah, because
wherever the wind,
out food.
Wherever the wind blows you is what you make that day.
Yeah. It's so hard.
It's because he goes on fucking TikTok and finds a new recipe, and then he's like, I must make this.
No choice.
No choice.
What did I find yesterday that I wanted to make?
Tell me.
I have to look it up.
Okay. Also, people get overstimulated because they have a difficult time filtering through stimuli. So it makes it more.
Oh, this bitch made a pod CU, and it looks so good. Yeah.
I would love to. I can't find the wide rice noodles
Yeah.
anywhere. They're always like this. They're like not quite like a pappardelle, if I'm saying that right. Upsetting my ancestors. Another thing that makes us overstimulated is if you're already going into experience anxious because of a past experience with that type of sensory environment, and then you become even more anxious and you've negative emotions around those types of events, so then you don't want to go. It's like a whole cycle, and then just overall issues with self-regulation, not being able to modulate your experience and response to the multiple layers of sensory input, and then you just get like really cranky and bark at somebody when you're like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I was just really overstimulated.
Yeah.
It happens.
I get that. It's like the frustration. It's like, there's nothing wrong, but why is everything wrong?
Yes. For me, it's like if I'm at the salon, all the blow dryers are going at once, and then the phone starts ringing, and then maybe like one of my socks feels like it's too tight, and then someone asks me a question and I can't hear them, and I'm so pissed off that I can't hear them, but it has nothing to do with the fact that this poor person just asked me a question. It's the fact that there are like 5 other contributing.
I get super overstimulated at restaurants now. This is a new thing for me. In the last year or so, I don't know why this has happened, but like, I feel like, you're in public and you overhear people's conversations. It's so hard not to be like, I'm a part of that. I can contribute to this conversation. And then or like you're waiting in line at the club and like the people behind you are talking and you don't have anyone there to talk to. So you're like, well, I guess I'll chime in. And then I'm like, well, I guess they really don't want to talk to me because like they didn't come here to talk to me. And like, I feel like now at this point, we're not friends. So like they don't care what my stupid little comment that I like to make in passing or whatever, and now I've opened the portal, so I feel like I can continue to walk through it, but like anyway,
I feel you on that.
But like in restaurants, I'm like, I hear everyone's conversations, and I just find that horribly distracting, and I'm just like, everybody shut up. Or like put me in a nice booth so that I can't hear anyone.
Yeah.
Like when we were at the restaurant the other day, it took me like 10 to 15 minutes
to regulate.
Maybe that's what I'm experiencing, so that I can like actually key in on the conversation that we're having instead of just overhearing everyone. But like when you walk in and you just overhear everyone's conversations, I find that horribly overstimulating.
And it also depends on where, like, again, like where you at in your emotional cup and stimulation wise. Like if you already worked an entire event and then you walk into a dark club and it's already loud and your best friend's already hammered and screaming
and pulls your face and gives you like 5 consecutive face kisses, and you pull her face away from yours and stare her in the eyes, and you just came from a bar mitzvah and go, no.
I'm not sorry. I love him. I will always kiss his little face. What else do I have for you lovely individuals? Inclusive activities. So these are things you can do with your sensory seeking friends and your sensory avoidant friends. You can have sensory friendly movie nights where the lights are dimmed and there's lower volume levels and a welcoming atmosphere for everyone, so it's accommodating to both sensory seekers and overloaded, because you could give yourself more sensory by talking, or everybody can shut the fuck up and the non-sensory seekers can still enjoy it. Another option is like nature walks, outdoor exploration.
Fresh air, man.
Outdoor
does
activities.
Amazing things for this neurospicy brain.
Yeah, the sights, the sounds, the textures.
Oh, it's the air. I just think it's the air itself. So good.
Mm-hmm. And then for some, there are sensory-friendly gaming. That there are specific games designed with sensory considerations. I didn't Google any. I have not found any, but often these games incorporate visual and auditory adjustments, so people aren't super overstimulated. I also found this app called NeuroHub, which will show you places that have sensory accommodations in your area. And I'm going to put the link in the description of this episode. And as I was saying earlier, we already kind of touched on this, but it was interesting browsing through Reddit and finding people that are overstimulated by things so specific as like dish gloves. One person was saying that they have to have completely odorless dish gloves. If there's any smell or scent of rubber to them, like they cannot wear them, cannot put them on, and that the thickness bothered them too.
I don't get so much food sense. Like, I'll eat almost anything.
Texture doesn't bother you?
No.
I'm a big food texture person.
So is Austin. He, like, if a food just rubs him the wrong way in a texturial way.
Like, he won't give it another chance?
No. He's like, can't eat that.
It is hard once you get the ick.
He's like
something.
one of those little kitties that you like put food in front of and then they just go ah.
It is hard when you get like a mushy grape or something. That's hard to come back from.
Well, that's true. If it's the wrong texture and it's like old and gross, if it's not what it's like supposed to be.
Yeah, like
but I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to my food's texture. I mean, I'm a huge fan of like squishy slimy. If it's squishy slimy, that's like not my go-to, but like an oyster, not really my fave, but I still will choke one down.
Oy vey. Of the research I did on coping with overstimulation, the only thing that I'm sure y'all haven't already have been told is this progressive muscle relaxation technique, where it's basically you're systematically tensing and then relaxing different muscle groups of your body. And this technique helps to release physical tension, which can be an effective way to address the physical manifestations of stress and sensory overload in the body. So it would be like straightening out your legs and like squeezing as hard as you can for like 5 seconds and then releasing. It's also a helpful way to help yourself go to sleep at night, like starting at your feet and going all the way up to your head. And then of course, visual filters. If you need to, wear sunglasses. Wear sunglasses inside. Don't let people tell you not to.
All right.
Do it if you need to. If you're upset by the bright lights, do it. Like Asher wears sunglasses almost fucking 24/7.
You're kind of right.
Yeah. Who cares?
True.
And it's a fashion accessory.
True. And you look cooler than everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's intimidating.
Absolutely.
Who doesn't like to be that?
Who doesn't like to be that bitch? And remember that coping mechanisms are different from person to person, and it's important to explore and tailor these strategies based on individual preferences and needs. Regularly assessing and adjusting coping mechanisms is also valuable.
Dude, I think I'm understimulated, and I, for no good reason, just closed out of my DJ software. I was like...
That had us going right now?
Not the audio recording software, the one that plays the theme music.
Oh, interesting.
I just closed it for no reason.
Interesting.
I was bored.
Interesting, David.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling Understimmy these days.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
I need to get my stimmy back.
Yeah, we need to get your stimmy back, baby. But that's okay, because kind of brought us to the end anyway. Just remember, everyone, that we all have individual differences and sensory flesh holds. Jesus Christ.
Sensory fleshlights?
I meant thresholds.
Well, on that note.
On that note, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about next week. So tune in to find out more. And as always, you can listen to all episodes and shop merch at thecocoshow.com and email me your ye fucking huns and type topic suggestions to thecocosshowpod@gmail.com. As always, we will see you
next
Tuesday.
Bye.